Imagine a life where the greatest challenges, pain, death, poverty, do not provoke fear. A life where your only concern is to live virtuously, to be the best version of yourself, and to fulfill your potential. This is the essence of Stoicism. And today, we explore the life of one of its most profound practitioners, Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor of Rome. Marcus Aurelius was born on April 26, 121 AD, into a prominent Roman family. From a young age, he was destined for greatness. His adoptive father, Emperor Antoninus Pius, ensured that Marcus received the finest education in philosophy, rhetoric, and law. But it was Stoicism that truly captured young Marcus's heart. His tutor, the Stoic philosopher Junius Rusticus, introduced him to the teachings of Epictetus and other Stoic thinkers. Under Rusticus's guidance, Marcus developed a deep understanding of Stoic principles, which would later shape his reign as emperor and his personal philosophy. Marcus Aurelius became emperor in 161 AD, at the age of 40. His reign marked the end of the Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and prosperity in the Roman Empire. But despite the challenges that lay ahead, Marcus Aurelius remained committed to the Stoic ideals of virtue, wisdom, and self-discipline. Being the Roman emperor was no easy task. Marcus Aurelius was responsible for the lives and well-being of millions of people across a vast empire. His decisions could mean the difference between peace and war, prosperity and famine, life and death. And yet he remained humble, always reminding himself of his duty to serve the greater good. Marcus faced numerous external challenges during his reign. The Marcomannic Wars, a series of brutal conflicts with Germanic tribes, threatened the stability of the empire. At the same time, the Antonine Plague, a devastating pandemic, swept through the Roman world, killing millions and weakening the empire's military and economic strength. But Marcus Aurelius never wavered in his resolve. He saw these challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities to practice Stoic virtues. In the face of war, he demonstrated courage and leadership. In the face of plague, he showed compassion and resilience. And in the face of personal loss, he buried several of his own children. He exemplified the Stoic belief that we must accept what we cannot control. As the most powerful man in the world, Marcus Aurelius could have indulged in any pleasure or vice. The life of a Roman emperor was often associated with luxury, excess, and hedonism. Yet, despite having the world at his feet, Marcus Aurelius chose a path of virtue. Imagine being in his position. For nearly 20 years, Marcus ruled as emperor, with no one to answer to and no restrictions on his actions. He could have amassed unimaginable wealth, indulged in the finest luxuries, and pursued any desire. But instead he chose to live a life of discipline, humility, and service to his people. This choice was not an easy one. The temptations of power are immense, and the pressure to conform to the expectations of others can be overwhelming. But Marcus Aurelius was guided by his Stoic principles. He believed that true happiness and fulfillment came not from external pleasures, but from living in accordance with nature and virtue. Marcus Aurelius's personal philosophy was deeply rooted in Stoicism. Stoicism, founded by Zeno of Citium in the 3rd century BC, teaches that the key to a good life is to live in harmony with nature, to control one's emotions, and to focus on what can be controlled while accepting what cannot. For Marcus, this meant focusing on his duty as emperor and living a life of virtue, regardless of the challenges he faced. He believed that external events, whether they be war, plague, or personal loss, were beyond his control. What mattered was how he responded to these events. In his journal, Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the essence of Stoicism. It reminds us that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. Meditations is perhaps the most famous work of Stoic philosophy, and it offers a unique insight into the mind of Marcus Aurelius. Written over several years, this collection of personal reflections was never intended for publication. It was his way of reminding himself of his principles and keeping himself grounded in the face of immense power and responsibility. The 12 books of Meditations cover a wide range of topics, from the nature of the universe to the importance of self-discipline. But at its core, Meditations is a guide to living a virtuous life. It is a reminder that true happiness comes not from external success, but from inner peace and fulfillment. One of the key themes in Meditations is the idea of living according to nature. For Marcus, this meant fulfilling his potential as a human being and living in harmony with the natural order of the universe. He believed that just as a tree grows to its full height, or a river flows to the sea, humans must strive to be the best they can be. But living according to nature also meant accepting the inevitability of change and death. Marcus often reflected on the transitory nature of life, reminding himself that everything, including himself, would one day come to an end. This awareness of mortality motivated him to live each day to the fullest, to do his duty, and to remain virtuous in the face of adversity. As emperor, Marcus Aurelius faced many challenges that tested his Stoic resolve. The Marcomannic Wars were particularly difficult. These conflicts, which lasted for much of his reign, involved brutal battles against Germanic tribes that threatened the northern borders of the empire. Leading his troops in these harsh conditions, Marcus Aurelius had to remain strong and resilient, even as he faced the horrors of war. But it wasn't just external threats that tested him. Marcus also had to navigate the complexities of Roman politics, dealing with corruption, betrayal, and the ambitions of those around him. Despite these challenges, he remained true to his Stoic principles, always putting the well-being of the empire and its people above his own desires. The Antonine Plague was another significant challenge. This deadly pandemic, which some historians believe was caused by smallpox or measles, decimated the population of the Roman Empire. It weakened the economy, reduced the size of the army, and caused widespread fear and uncertainty. Yet Marcus Aurelius did not flee from his responsibilities. He remained in Rome, providing leadership and support to his people, even as the plague claimed countless lives. Throughout these trials, Marcus Aurelius's Stoic beliefs helped him maintain his composure and focus. He understood that he could not control the external events that threatened the empire, but he could control how he responded to them. His calm and rational approach to these crises helped to stabilize the empire during one of its most challenging periods. Marcus Aurelius's legacy extends far beyond his reign as emperor. His writings, particularly Meditations, have inspired countless people over the centuries. From philosophers and leaders to everyday individuals, many have found guidance and wisdom in his Stoic teachings. Today, Meditations is considered one of the greatest works of philosophy ever written. It continues to be read and studied by people all over the world, offering timeless advice on how to live a virtuous and fulfilling life. But Marcus Aurelius's legacy is not just in his writings. It is also in the example he set as a ruler and as a man. In a position of immense power, he chose to live a life of humility, service, and self-discipline. He showed that it is possible to remain virtuous even in the most challenging circumstances, and that true greatness comes not from wealth or power, but from living according to one's principles. What can we learn from Marcus Aurelius in today's world? While the challenges we face may be different from those of ancient Rome, the Stoic principles that guided Marcus are just as relevant now as they were then. In a world filled with uncertainty, stress, and distractions, the teachings of Marcus Aurelius can help us find clarity and purpose. His emphasis on controlling what we can control, accepting what we cannot, and focusing on living a virtuous life can provide us with the tools we need to navigate the complexities of modern life. Whether we are facing personal challenges, professional obstacles, or global crises, the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius can help us stay grounded, resilient, and focused on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius was more than just a ruler. He was a philosopher who lived his beliefs every day. His life and writings offer us a roadmap for living with purpose, integrity, and resilience. By embracing the Stoic principles that guided Marcus, we can learn to face our own challenges with the same strength and wisdom. If you found value in these teachings, take a moment to reflect on how you can apply them to your own life. And if you enjoyed this exploration of Marcus Aurelius, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue to learn from the great minds of the past and strive to live our lives with the same Stoic resolve. Until next time, remember, true greatness lies not in power or wealth, but in the pursuit of virtue and wisdom.